So the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II has just been announced yesterday, and to be honest, I had lots of hopes on this camera, lots of high hopes on this camera, but somehow I am kind of disappointed now. So here are 6 reasons why the Sony ZV-E10 is not interesting for me and what is the best alternative for this camera. But don't get me wrong, this is a great camera. It has the exact same sensor as the a6700 and as the FX30 from Sony. So you have 10-bit recording 4:2, you have great image quality, you have all the nice profiles from Sony as well. But I'm quite sure that the release of the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II now will increase the sales of the Sony a6700, and here are 6 things why I think that the a6700 is the best buy compared to the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. If you are a hybrid shooter and you mix between videography and photography, on the a6700 you have an EVF. It is not the best EVF in the market, it's on the side of the camera, but you have an EVF, while on the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II you don't have EVF. And if you are shooting in bright days, in sunny days, you need the EVF to better compose your shots and even your videos. It's really helpful to have it. Although this camera, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, is dedicated towards vloggers mainly, but we don't have IBIS, we don't have in-body image stabilization. And if you'd like to stabilize the footages, whether we will use the gyro data of the Sony and that will add something extra to the workflow, or we have to use the digital stabilization, which will crop a lot in the sensor. So in speaking in cropping into the sensor, on the Sony a6700 we can shoot in 4K 60 frames per second without any crop into the sensor, while on the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II we have 1.1 times crop. That means we have 10% loss of the image quality, of the overall image quality at 4K 60. We cannot shoot in 4K 120 frames per second to have some buttery smooth footages on the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, while we can do this easily but with a huge crop on the Sony a6700. On another side, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II is not weather sealed exactly like the Sony ZV-E10, the first version, while the Sony a6700 is weather sealed. And for me, this is a good option to have for more peace of mind when shooting outdoors. And number 6 on my list, why I think the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II is not worth buying while we have the Sony a6700 in the market, is the price. Because now we can find the a6700, a brand new one with the kit lens, at 1,500 euros in France, while the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II with the same kit lens is at about 1,200 euros in France today. And add to that, now we can find the a6700 used, which will be at a better price than the 1,500 euros. So that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a like. That helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. And write me down in the comment section below which camera you prefer, whether the a6700 or the ZV-E10 Mark II that was just released. And let me know why you would like to buy the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II if you have the chance to get the a6700. I'm really curious to see your opinion about that. And by the way, if you are interested in any of the photography and videography gears that I talked about previously on my channel, you can find all of them in the affiliate links down below. And thank you for watching. Ciao for now.